So, you're heading into a bookkeeping interview. Ever wonder what separates the candidate who gets the offer from the one who doesn't? Well, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to decode what those interviewers are really asking so you can prove you're not just a number cruncher, but a genuine financial asset to their team.
You know, it really all comes down to this one question. A good bookkeeper, they're accurate. But a great bookkeeper, well, they're accurate, sure, but they're also efficient and insightful. It's not just about getting the numbers to line up, it's about understanding the story those numbers are trying to tell you about the business.
We've broken this down into 4 key areas. First, we'll cover the foundational concepts, then the day-to-day process. After that, we'll tackle how to handle problems in compliance, and finally, we'll get into the X factor, what takes you beyond just bookkeeping. Let's jump in.
Okay, first up, the foundation. Look, before they ask you anything else, an interviewer has to know that you speak the language of bookkeeping fluently. These aren't supposed to be trick questions. Think of them more as proficiency checks. Let's start with the absolute basics, right? The flow of money. Accounts payable is all the money going out, the bills you owe. Accounts receivable is the money coming in, the invoices you've sent. An interviewer asks this to set a baseline. If you nail this with confidence, it shows you get the most fundamental part of business finance.
Now, what's really interesting here is what's behind this question. When they ask you about accrual versus cash accounting, what they're really testing is your understanding of timing. Do you get how a company can look profitable on paper but have zero cash in the bank? Your answer here shows how deep your understanding of financial reporting really goes.
And then there's the chart of accounts. The best way to think about this is as the company's financial map. When they ask about this, yeah, they want to see if you can organize things logically. But it's deeper than that. A well-designed chart doesn't just store data, it unlocks real business intelligence, making reports way clearer and more useful for the people making the big decisions.
All right, let's move on and see how all these concepts actually get put into practice. This is the part of the interview where they're going to test your real hands-on skills, your ability to manage the day-to-day rhythm of the job.
Oh, you can bet you'll be asked about your month-end closing process. Having a clear step-by-step method shows you're organized. You reconcile the bank accounts, post your adjusting entries, prep the trial balance, and then bam, you generate the key reports like the P&L and balance sheet. It's proof you can deliver accurate information right on schedule.
When we talk about payroll, the crucial thing isn't just the final number. What the interviewer really wants to see is that you are meticulous about the inputs. Do you know exactly what information you need to gather before you even start? This proves you get that accuracy starts way before you hit calculate.
You're probably going to get asked about your experience with different systems too. And your answer here isn't just about name-dropping QuickBooks. It's about showing you're adaptable. Can you learn new software on the fly? Could you handle a less automated setup if you had to? It's basically a test of your technical flexibility.
All right, now for the part of the interview where they really turn up the heat. This is where they find out if you can handle pressure, solve tricky problems, and protect the company from some serious financial risks.
This is a classic stress test question. They're not just looking for a textbook answer here. They're looking for the right approach. Do you panic? Or do you have a calm, systematic way to figure out what went wrong? This is basically a simulation of a high-pressure moment.
And this is exactly the kind of answer that's going to impress them. Describing a logical, step-by-step process shows you are a methodical problem solver. You don't just guess, you investigate. An approach like that builds a ton of confidence.
So when we talk about compliance, you know what it really boils down to? Trust. When an interviewer asks about tax remittances or audit prep or confidentiality, what they're really asking is, can we trust you to be the gatekeeper of our financial integrity? Knowing these areas shows you're not just responsible, you're truly trustworthy.
Okay, let's dive into the final section. This is where you really separate yourself from the rest of the candidates. This is all about moving from being a technical bookkeeper to becoming a strategic partner in the business.
I absolutely love this quote because it sums up this whole idea perfectly. Being accurate, that's just the price of entry. The real goal, the thing that gets you hired for the best roles, is the value you can add. Great bookkeepers don't just report on what happened yesterday, they provide insights that help shape what happens tomorrow.
So when an interviewer asks, what kind of reports can you generate, what they're really asking is, how can you help management make smarter, data-driven decisions? Talking about things like accounts receivable aging reports or helping with cash flow projections shows you're thinking like a business analyst, not just a data entry clerk. And please, never underestimate the personal questions. When they ask about a time you handled a difficult situation or how you take feedback, they're testing these crucial soft skills. Your ability to manage relationships, pressure, and communication is every bit as important as your ability to manage a general ledger.
So when you really boil it all down, every single question they ask you, whether it's super technical or more personal, is designed to test you on these 3 pillars. Are you accurate? Can you be trusted? And can you provide insight?
At the end of the day, this is the question you need to be answering throughout the entire interview. Proving that you're a strategic partner, someone who adds value that goes way beyond the balance sheet, that is the real key to acing your interview and building an amazing career in this field.